Well, it's been a few weeks, but Instant Rewind is back here on Anthem TV and makes its debut on Love You Hard TV as well. Mike Taylor alongside Rudy.
Yes,
Johnson,
sir.
A.K.A. Rudy J.
Rudy J.
And we're back to talk about things going on in the sports world. Since we've been
away,
a lot has gone on. And it's like we can't even get into 2 weeks old news because there's so much that happens in the last 48 hours.
Yeah, no. This is air fryer. That's forgotten.
Right.
That's all forgotten. We gotta stay current, even though we've been gone. Plus, it's summertime.
Yeah.
We're getting the kids ready for school.
For
People
sure.
been vacationing.
For sure.
So, yeah, we just gotta stick to what's just happened.
Right. And what's coming down. And
Right.
what is coming down in a couple of weeks on August 30th. Probably one of the most hyped, anticipated opening games in the college football season in years. Is we have 1 versus 2 right off. Well, actually, I think it's 1 versus 3. If you go by the AP, depends on what poll you trust. The Longhorns are number 1. Ohio State is number 3 in the opening AP poll.
Mm-hmm.
And Texas plays at the Horseshoe August 30th. Can't wait.
Cannot wait. I hate the kickoff. I feel like that should be a night game. I feel like that should be ending Saturday night, but it is what it is. I'll take it at whatever time.
Mm-hmm.
But for the first time ever, did I hear you say that right before shows?
Yeah.
First time ever in the preseason AP poll.
The first time ever that the preseason AP Top 25 poll has Texas number 1.
Which, with their
Now,
history...
they've finished one before.
Of course.
But in the preseason, they've never been number 1 to start a season. You wouldn't think that, though, going back to the 50s and 60s.
That's a hell of a game for Arch to have to start with. But again, man, we're a little over 2 weeks out.
Yeah.
I cannot wait.
Arch Manning mania.
I think the coaches poll, too. I'm not a big fan of the coaches poll. I think the coaches poll is done by some trainer. Coaches are worried about their team. They're not worried about
collective.
Yeah, they're not worried about where should I rank Georgia. Sark has better things to do. So they are coaches poll and AP poll number 1.
Longhorns number 1, of course, with Arch Manning. Lost a lot of starters on both sides of the ball from last year's semifinal team, as he likes to point out. But my counter, without trying to be a homer, because I'm not, is that the kids that they have that are going to start this year, most of those kids are 4- and 5-star players. Texas they're just loaded. Man.
Well, that was Nick Saban's thing forever. Plug and play.
Sure.
They were 3 deep, but prior to the portal and prior to NIL, the Alabamas of the world, the Georgias of the world were 3- and 4-, 5-star guys deep. So I feel like maybe that's where Texas is now. But I also understand that Nick's guys, I hate to keep comparing them to Nick because they haven't done anything to be compared to that. But those Alabama teams and even the Georgia teams in recent history, they did go back to back. They understood playing with expectations and the moment not being too big and all the bright lights. I mean, we heard Grandpa Archie last week saying, hey, my grandson ain't did nothing. Don't put him in the Heisman. Don't put him in the Heisman race just yet. He's got to do something. So I want to see how they react to having the actual expectations. Like, this is the first time since Vince Young that somebody said, hey, we think you guys can win the whole darn thing. So I wonder how this team, with a bunch of guys that have never been on this stage, react to those expectations.
Here's your top 10. So the Longhorns are 1.
Right.
Penn State's at 2.
A lot of hype about Penn State. A lot.
Ohio State 3. Then Clemson with with a Texas kid playing quarterback, Cade Klubnik. Georgia, Notre Dame, Oregon, Bama, LSU. That's your top 10.
Bama?
Yeah, Bama's 9.
Interesting.
That's your top 10. So, of course, SEC's got 4 of the top 10.
Of course.
What's new.
Rightfully so.
All right, in the NFL, of course, the Cowboys got their preseason up and rolling this past weekend. Lost to the Rams. That's fine.
Who cares?
What I do care about is how Joe Milton looked. He was up and down. He looked very inaccurate at times, but he looked like a backup quarterback. Joe Milton, who is battling Will Grier to replace Cooper Rush as Dak Prescott's backup. 90% chance that Joe will win the job if he's healthy, but I wasn't impressed very much. I don't know what you thought. He showed that cannon arm. He's a huge kid. He's a good runner, but man, the accuracy continues to be an issue with him.
And, along with, other things, getting deflated over the weekend, whatever it was, Mike had high hopes, not because he believed in Joe Milton.
Still do.
Not because he believed in Joe Milton, but because he's just like, at what point do we find Dak Prescott's maybe real, true backup and an answer to something that isn't going to get any better? And with that first game, Joe Milton in the Cowboy uniform, your hopes kind of came down a little bit.
I'll explain the theory. So what I want is for the Cowboys to start the process of phasing Dak Prescott out.
Right.
It won't be this year. Most likely won't even be next year.
No.
And I'm not saying Joe Milton is the next guy for the Cowboys, but the Cowboys are never going to tell Dak you're benched, no matter how bad he is. I don't want him to get hurt.
No. We don't wish
now,
injury on
the only way Dak Prescott is not the starting quarterback for the Cowboys is as if he gets injured,
right,
or decides he doesn't want to play anymore,
or unless it's a 2013 situation. It's just overwhelming. Like when Romo got replaced, it wasn't but the Cowboys wanted to.
No.
It's just Dak was so overwhelmingly better than him at that time.
After Romo got hurt,
the Cowboys were like, "Damn, we got to kind of stay here." So that's the only thing you could hope for. And with Joe Milton's first game, that don't look like that's the case.
If you go back to that year you just mentioned, I think
it was 13.
Let's say Dak looked amazing in the preseason.
4-0.
But if Romo doesn't get injured, the Cowboys don't have the guts to bench him and put the kid in there.
No.
The Cowboys see with their own eyes what they should do, and that doesn't mean they're going to do it because we're talking about the Cowboys.
Right.
And because Romo couldn't play, literally because he was hurt, they had to play Dak. It was a magical season. And they're going to need something like that this time around, funny enough. And Dak needs to be the Tony Romo. I don't want him to get hurt.
You want him to just give up his job
what
and quit?
I do want is
him to quit?
It's time. Well, it wouldn't hurt my feelings if Dak retired. He's not going to be the long-term solution anymore. He's not going to go to the Super Bowl. Even though he went over to Stan Kroenke, the Rams owner, before the preseason game and said, "See you in the NFC Championship game." I don't know what Dak was thinking.
I wouldn't have done that.
Dak Prescott is what he is. He's in his mid-30s. He's got an old body. He's got no mobility. He was hurt most of the year last year. I have no expectations for him. So the sooner they can start the process of phasing him out, the better. However that happens. CeeDee Lamb had
got trucked.
Funny look. Probably the funniest play of the weekend.
I think that's what the kids call it to play video games. They got truck stick.
He got trucked by a running human being in the form of the referee because Dak got too close to the sideline. So the Cowboys open up preseason losing, and CeeDee Lamb gets run over by a referee. Didn't play, obviously, but he was excited rooting on the bench and got ran over by a damn referee. And thank God he didn't get hurt.
That is your Dallas Clown Boys.
Yeah. Those are my Dallas Clown Boys. What else? ESPN has acquired the rights to the NFL Network. They've acquired what's the show y'all all love where they're all these show, the Red Zone. Everybody's in the 20. They've got the rights to that. And in exchange, the NFL gets a 10% equity share in ESPN. That's a massive merger between those two.
It's a massive merger and it's a big power play. I mean, don't get me wrong, it's great for ESPN because, they're slowly doing away with a lot of their talent. And they're going more to like the sports side of things. So it's huge for them. But it's also huge for NFL. Like, we get 10% of your company. Not just what you sell from us, of your company. That means when they have the US Open, whatever it is, we're getting 10% of that. So it's a great power move by the NFL as well.
Rudy likes golf. I like it too. And we have a good excuse to talk golf in the next segment, along with the Major League Baseball playoff push. Where are the Astros? Where are the Rangers? Where's everybody else? Those two things coming down next. It's Instant Rewind on Anthem TV and Love You Hard TV. It's Instant Rewind, Mike and Rudy, and the MLB playoff push is about to get up and running. So I usually get super into baseball right around September 1st.
I'm a September guy.
But the trade deadline now over in Major League Baseball. You and I might not get super excited until September 1, but this really now begins this week. This is when the playoff push really gets rolling.
It felt like it was 1,000 trades at the deadline. It felt more active than normal. It felt
more than normal, for sure. Absolutely. Lots of teams are tanking. Lots of teams decided to move revenue. Got some really awful teams this year. I mean, gosh, I don't know that I've seen a worse team in my lifetime than what the Colorado Rockies are doing this year. And that has really stacked all the big major players toward the top of the standings. The team that has surprised me this year are the Milwaukee Brewers.
In a good way?
In a real good way. The Brewers are a World Series contender. And I wouldn't have told you that at the beginning. And not that I'm trying to act like a baseball expert, but I didn't see the Brewers doing this. I knew they'd be pretty good.
Right.
But with Christian Yelich, who's now become the old veteran, and the hotshot kid pitcher they called up this year in his rookie season, the Brewers look fantastic with 70-some-odd wins already as we get into the playoff push in the National League. But, of course, we're in Texas.
We talked about that right before the deadline, and I asked you, did you think yours, everyone's Rangers had a push in them. How are you feeling today?
I still think that they do have a push in them. They did what they could trying to upgrade their bullpen. They brought in a decent veteran starter with the deadline. With the Rangers, their issue's been they can't score runs to save their lives. And I don't know that they've done enough. I would call them a dark horse on the outside. Hey, it's baseball. Anybody can get hot. You've seen clubs that were completely counted out get hot right around this time of the year and turn it into a championship run. Back in 2011, when the Cardinals won the World Series, I believe, like, you go back to August 1st of that year, they wouldn't even have made the wild card, I don't believe.
Right.
Then you fast forward 2.5 months and they're hoisting the trophies. So baseball's crazy. Like the great Ron Washington used to say, that's how baseball go.
But when you look at the AL West, do you feel like it's just one of those divisions that someone has to win and there's no real contender? I mean, Astros are first, obviously followed right closely by the Mariners and then the Rangers. But is that just a division that, somebody's got to win it?
Well, I think that
there's pedigree, there's championship pedigree in that division.
For sure. Like, I think I would have agreed with that a month ago, but because I've not believed in the Mariners until recently. Now, I was wrong. Now I think the Mariners are a legit club. Houston's and Seattle are neck and neck. Depends on the day right now. And the way the standings are, if you don't win the AL West, it's not a guarantee you make the playoffs because of some of the other wild card contenders. I mean, you might need to win the division to make it to the playoffs. They'll probably get 2 in, Rudy. But, man, if I'm Seattle and Houston, I'm going balls out to win the division. I don't want to play around and hope for help and all that kind of thing.
No one game.
This is going to be a really awesome race between Seattle and Houston that should go all the way down to the wire. Now, as far as the Rangers, with them being in third place, if they're going to make a wild card or that won't be one of the last wild cards in, they need Houston or Seattle to just go into just crap the bed the next month and a half.
Or
I
get
just don't
insanely
see it.
hot. Yeah.
Right now, if I had to bet money, which I'm not a betting man, but if you force me to bet money, I'm not betting a nickel on the Rangers right now. So I think this will wind up being a battle between Houston and Seattle that goes down to the literal last day of the regular season. So it'll be a lot of fun. All right, the FedEx Cup in golf is underway. The first of 3 playoff tournaments got rolling with the St. Jude tournament up in Memphis over the weekend. And the old guy, the old veteran, the old Englishman, Justin Rose, winds up winning the first battle.
Did he win it or did Fleetwood lose it?
Well, Tommy Fleetwood didn't exactly do what he had to do. He snatched victory from the jaws of defeat. Wait a minute, I said that wrong. Fleetwood snatched defeat from the jaws of victory. He tanked.
He did. And you know what? Shout out to Justin Rose. Shout out to Fleetwood. The story is Scotty. Even when Scotty, I'm sorry, guys. This is what happens. I remember when, Tiger wouldn't play well and some other guys got his first win and he comes to the podium and the first question is, hey, how was it with Tiger? What, excuse me? I just won the tournament. Why are you asking me about Tiger? So I'm doing that right now with Scotty. Like, Scotty doesn't even play well. And he tied for third.
Yeah. Hey, Justin, congratulations on the victory. You must feel blessed that Scotty Scheffler was only the 3rd best golfer on the planet today.
How does it feel with Scotty chasing? Did you know that he was chasing you? Did you hear any roars?
Yeah.
Like, hey man, it's Scotty's time. It's his time.
I don't want to be hyperbolic.
Right.
Because for 15, 16, 17 years, Tiger was clearly the number 1 and there was no close number 2.
No.
But we're now to an era, and I'm not comparing Scotty to Tiger, but the difference after Scheffler, former Longhorn great, by the way, the drop off after Scotty is huge.
And then,
who's the second best guy? Rory McIlroy?
I guess.
Probably.
And
maybe. We
really
guess.
Close.
Yeah, man. Scotty is just
not as far
run away with it.
Not as far as the consistency.
Scheffler didn't play great by his standards and still finishes 3rd in the Cup. It's insane.
It's awesome.
Absolutely insane.
Shout out to Scotty.
All right, lots of other NFL talking points to get into next on Instant Rewind here on Anthem TV. Well, of course, the preseason in the NFL is here, and it's crazy the way I judge the NFL is tell me what veterans get hurt before opening day.
Oh, gosh.
And then I'll give you my final predictions. The Eagles, to me, are still 1-2 with the Lions, probably. Rams, maybe.
Commanders?
Maybe. The Commanders did go to the conference championship game last year, but the Eagles are the best team in the conference.
For sure.
Now, there's some close 2s and 3s, but boy, they take a hit at left guard with the All-Pro Landon Dickerson has a meniscus tear. Happened during a drill in a Sunday night practice under the lights that they had. And they're not ruling Landon Dickerson out for the year, but he's out for a good time. This will hurt the Eagles.
It'll definitely hurt them again. This will be the 6th offensive coordinator Jalen Hurts has had. He's only gone to 2 Super Bowls and maybe 3 or 4 playoff runs. But you couple that with this injury and just kind of starting over, just trying to get your foot in. Because keep in mind, last year when they started off bad. People were calling for Sirianni's head to start the season. So maybe they'll start a little rocky again with the injuries and the new OC and maybe get their footing. But I still won't count those guys.
Oh, no. The Eagles, see, they handle their season the opposite from what the Cowboys do. Cowboys are the world's greatest team in September.
And October.
And December rolls around and oopsies.
We suck again.
The Eagles are great at buying time. Chilling.
Let's work our way up.
Stay afloat.
Right.
Keep the thing on the moors, and then in December we'll take off.
They got the Cowboys ring night though. Like we talk, what we going to about the Cowboys? Who did they choose for the Eagles to get their ring?
Yeah, and I still think, despite the injury to Dickerson, we'll see what else happens between now and opening day. The Eagles should be 10-point favorites in this game.
Yeah, if I'm shoddy, I'm not coming out until after. I'm keeping my team in the locker room. Like we don't want to watch this crap.
Or
do you need to?
Or do you need to?
But see, I don't think they're built like that to where it'll motivate them. They're not built like that.
Probably not.
So I'm like, we're not watching it. We hate you. You hate us. We're not watching you get your rings.
Yeah, all right. Kid that we both felt sorry for during the draft was Shedeur Sanders.
Yeah, we did.
Shocking that he fell so far. And he made his debut for the Browns the other night in Carolina against the Panthers. And all the pressure of having that name, falling, the embarrassment of what happened in April during the draft, for him to come out and play as well as he did for the Browns, I was happy for Shedeur Sanders.
Yeah, I was like, I'm trying to be Jalen Hurts about it. Like, not too high, not too low. Just kind of stay even kill. Yeah. Like, trying to keep it in perspective that it's just preseason, but also keeping in mind that if he went out there and sucked, then everybody would have been like, oh, this is why 31 teams passed on him 5 times. So there's no really win situation for Shedeur. They got it out for him. It is what it is. Him and his father have played a role in that hatred, like whether they want to admit it or not. Like, hey, because before, months before he fell to 5th round, Deion was like, oh, no, there's a list of teams that I'm not letting Travis or Shedeur play for. So that played into it. But now that he's drafted, now that he's out there, and to go out there and play that well without really getting any reps with the ones is what made it more impressive. And then when you see some quarterbacks that have played the game break down the progressions and things he was going through, it was impressive. But again, it's the Panthers, number 1. Number 2, it's the preseason. So I can't get too high about it.
Yeah, but to his credit, leading up in the week leading up to the game, he did say, I've told my dad I don't want you coming.
Yeah, because I ain't done that
I love you, Daddy, but I haven't done anything. We all know what a distraction you are. Sucks. May not be your fault. A lot of it might just be media and fan driven, but let me do my thing. And he comes out and plays pretty good the other night. That was good to see. Real good to see. All right. Locally, Gina Ortiz Jones, our mayor, our newly elected mayor of San Antonio, tried to halt the process, or maybe not halt it, but slow down the process of getting Project Marvel onto the next ballot for the voters. City Council shot that down real quick, and the mayor is 0 for 1 in her concerns here with Project Marvel, trying to release. She's not against it. She just wants to slow. She's afraid that we're going to pass this thing too quick. Wants more research, I guess, more data, more arguing. Where do you stand on the process of Project Marvel right now?
We've talked a lot about this on our show In the Building, which you can catch daily at 10 a.m.
You can.
On Love You Hard TV.
On Love You Hard TV.
We're both on. I think we, in a weird way, agree with Gina, the new mayor, because we're both team Project Marvel. We both think the city needs this in the worst way.
We do.
But at the same time, and if you get offended by this, you get offended by this, the Spurs need to do more. The Spurs got to pony up more money. It's as simple as that. And I think, the new elected mayor is just trying to protect the city and make sure that this team that is worth a few $1 billion if it's sold today makes, Ballmer out in LA, I know they don't got that kind of money. But he built all of that out of his own pocket. Mm-hmm. So it can be done. It's weird doing GoFundMes for billionaires.
Plate sales.
Yeah, we're doing plate sales. Hey, drive through, get you some chicken and sausage so we can help build this arena. So we are Team Project Marvel, but we also feel like, hey, let's read the fine print. Mm-hmm. And I think that's what the new mayor is just trying to do.
Last I saw, the Spurs are offering $500 million of their own dollars to the arena, $500 million to the rest of the process of Project Marvel, the land and the things around to help get those things going. And I believe they offered another $60 million to some sort of child care program in the city. So they're trying. They've anteed up another $60 million, a little bit more money. Just a little bit more money, because we're talking about a $4 billion project.
Yeah, I'm thinking half.
The Spurs can do that too.
Let's go halvesies.
I agree.
We'll pay the taxpayers. We'll do $2 billion. Mm-hmm. Spurs, y'all do $2 billion. I think that's fair.
Sure. Yeah, absolutely. I've always been one of these guys, Rudy. It's like, hey, I love you, but you want your stadium? Cool, build it yourself.
Right.
You want to ask me to raise my taxes? I need you to at least give your fair share. Right. Which I think the Spurs, we're not far from them anteing up enough to where, okay, that's a good enough. Half, right at half, that'll work. Now the city can be on the hook for the rest. That's good. Mixing in a playoff appearance once in a while would also help my heart when it comes to yes or no on project. I'm going to vote yes.
Of course.
But I would like the Spurs to offer some more money. And again, like I said, I don't know. Maybe mixing a playoff appearance here and there. Maybe we can talk more. All right.
And it's big boy negotiations.
That's how things go.
Yeah.
That's business. All right. Our business is done for the day. Thank you, everybody. Back again next week for another edition here on Anthem TV. For Rudy, I'm Mike. It's Instant Rewind. We'll see you next Monday as we recap the next coming week's sports stuff next week. See y'all then.